Hello, Dumelang, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Listen and Be Heard podcast. You know me, I am your host with the most. It's Tim the King. This is the show that allows you the opportunity to have a voice and speak your mind, and also shares a lot of knowledge, especially about the up-and-coming artists, but the people that are known in our local areas but not really known out there in the world yet, but are going to be big someday. So yes, today we have an exciting guest, but you know how it goes, guys. I'm never alone. I'm always with my co-host and producer, the only Joe.
Yeah, the only one. So yeah, guys, man, you know me. I don't let people just, watch the show, go about it, be like, yeah, new guest, what's up? So yeah, man, you have to do the things, comment, like, subscribe, share. Tell your friends, man, and to tell your friends, about the other friends that know this show. Like, tell the friends,
everybody.
You get me? I say this every time.
You say this all the time. And don't forget to hit that notification button so that you don't miss any episode that we put out. Okay, so you'll be the first one to hear about it, first one to watch it. Otherwise, like I said, we have a super exciting guest for you today. He's an entrepreneur, he's an artist, all arts. I met him as a tattoo artist. I don't have tattoos yet, but yes, he's the guy that's going to plug me. Kevin Marz.
Oh yeah, shout out guys, it's your boy Kevin Marz.
Yeah.
Know me from hip hop and palm trees, know me for the tats, know me for Holy Boy, you know me as an entrepreneur. Man, I'm a social media freak, bruv. You know what it is with the boys right now.
Yeah. He is all of those things and many more, because that was just the tip of the iceberg, because the boy is working on a lot of stuff. But otherwise, Kev, we're going to talk more about the tattoo artist, and then you're going to just share about all the other stuff as we go.
Definitely.
Yeah, so how did you get into the space, tattoo artist?
So, okay, weirdly, let me put it in a box. So, growing up in like an artistic family, well, my father used to always be like a jazz like type of person, and he also used to go to like art galleries, and that always used to struck me, because I was like, kind of like, I don't know, like an outcast. Yeah. So outcast would find little things to get like attached to. So I used to sketch and things, daydream, listening to jazz and stuff.
Sure.
Until I attended art classes like probably like 2 blocks away from here. There's a Springs Art Gallery.
Yeah.
I did classes there for like half of my time in school actually, because they used to have classes like after school. So I'd go to school, do my thing, and just to rush back to the art classes just to get all of that thing out. You know what I mean? And there was a point where I was like, I wanted to get tattoos. I was so fascinated about tattoos. I'm like, one day when I'm out of school, I can finally get my tattoos done. And funny enough, my lecturer was like, dude, you dope. Like, why don't you just get into tattooing and then build it from up? And I was like, I need to do research, because that's one thing. Guys, do research before you do things you're trying to do. Because that's very... So I had to do my research on how to get into the industry, because I thought it was just like drawing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until I reached a point where I started with myself. For like the first year. It was hard. Guys, don't do tattoos without your parents' information, because I had to lie. I got my first tattoo. And I had to lie to my parents for a week, because I was washing dishes with the long sleeve, and the first tat was right here by my wrist. So it was quite weird until she understood what it was about. And 9 years later, still running out here.
Yeah? So you've been doing this for 9 years?
Yeah.
What was your first tattoo, like the first one you put on yourself? Like, was it? Yeah. Was it? Did you keep it? Do you still have it?
Yes, I still do. It's right here on my thumb. It was a smiley actually. So it's 2 dots and a smiley face.
Oh yeah.
And the reason for that was actually, for me, I always had the straight face. Some people will see me, they'll be like, yo, this guy, I don't know how.
Yeah.
And this would like constantly remind me to like, yo, dude, like these people,
like,
you know what I mean? As
smile.
an introvert, it's hard to like talk to people like out the blue and be like, hey, it's Kev, and what? Until I grew out of that. So this is like a constant reminder of like, you know what I mean? Like,
Smile.
keep the happy face, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? If you gotta deal with it inside, or just
Inside,
express
sure.
it, you know what I mean? And this is how I expressed it, basically. You
That
know
is
what I mean?
that is amazing, man. That is amazing. It's,
So what I'm getting at is that you grew up with raw.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh
Definitely,
yeah, and then you worked your way.
Yeah, I worked my way up, as in like getting inspirations from little things. Because me, I was like kind of a skater, you know what I mean? Not kind of a skater, I was a skater, you know, back then. You know, so I was a skater,
Yeah.
so I would get influences of little things, you know what I mean? Like just skating to somewhere I don't know, I see a graffiti on the wall and be like, yo,
yeah.
that is dope, that is
Yeah.
dope. And always like take pictures, get back home and try imitate that, you
yeah.
know what I mean? If I see an E like that, I'll be like, okay, let me try close it and make it a B and what, come back
me
to my
try,
school page,
yeah.
front page, I got that thing big like that, like yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Type of
yeah.
things to switch up and like
Oh, I
get to
get you.
build
Alright,
up from there
alright.
on. So you know what I mean? So it's all of that tapping and getting used to it. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm guessing you like in high school or primary school, like you were the student who used to draw like Pokemons
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, like I didn't want anything to look the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if we had the same shoes right now, I'd probably go to the bathroom right now, get a marker, probably write my name there or something, at least to be like
Just
that little,
stand out.
like,
Yeah.
like that little
Different.
difference, you know
Set
what I
yourself
mean?
apart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
man.
I like that because then there's a story towards it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And then what is it that you love so much besides the drawing, because that you grew up doing,
Yeah.
about tattoos?
Yo, the tattoo part of it was dope. That when I took the journey of it, I started understanding what it was. You know what I mean? Because some people will just get tats to look cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's dope to get tats to look cool, but sometimes you gotta think like in future terms. What will it remind you? You know what I mean?
Sure,
You know what I
sure.
mean? It can be dope, but it symbolizes something.
Of
Like
course.
some people get roses. Roses are sweet. They mean absolutely like the most, whether
Yeah.
it's appreciation, whether it's a death, whether it's somebody, because a
course.
flower is something that blooms, you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Whether it's small flower, whether it's the leaf, it blooms,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's specific reasons. Some people take it in another way.
Mm.
Next minute you get a rose, you get up in the west side, you know, y'all west side guys, hey,
Yeah.
hey, don't get us
Yeah.
killed now over some tats now. So yeah, some people take it to the extremes and stuff, but it's just like the form of understanding of like what you're getting, and the culture of it is so nice because now it's like freedom, especially for us, like 90s kid.
Sure.
Yo, I'm so appreciative to be a 90s kid. All the conspiracy of what happened back then, yeah, it did. I'm sorry, granddad, you held it down. But yo,
Yeah.
now we've got like so much freedom to express ourselves. So this tattoo thing was always like for me to. It was like something that grew out of me, you know what I mean? It didn't grow out of me, but like I grew up towards it to understand it. Now I live that lifestyle of like, whether I have tats, it's what I'm showing and my story, which is the best. Like even my clients, they know, they can come to me and want to get a tat. If I've seen it before, I would doubt to do it. Because now you like, bro, I want some praying hands and a rosary. You get it done. Homeboy hits me up next month. He says he wants a rosary and praying hands, and I do that. Y'all niggas don't know each other, and y'all link up. How's that gonna feel? You know what I mean? It also messes up the culture of the tat. Guys, don't do that. Don't take pictures from Instagram and copy paste that shit, because now it's not gonna come out the same, guys. And the creativity also is a plus, guys.
And the
Yeah.
meaning.
Yeah.
Meaning and creativity is a plus. Always consider your clients first. Stop trying to make money, because if you're trying to make money, something wrong will come out, and
And
then you gotta call Kev, bruv.
and yeah, man. Does Kev come cheap?
Well, it depends, because I work with sessions, right? So my sessions go with, especially, it's not a racial thing for me, but I mostly like go for darker skins, you know what I mean? Because I know how it is. For me, it was expensive. I went to white shops with my own designs to quote them, and the prices I got, I was like, sheesh, bruh.
Yeah.
So I'm about to spend like 14 and a half just for a half sleeve. So I would accommodate people that wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my prices vary. So it's either we work on a piece from what you're thinking of, but definitely it's gonna start from scratch, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The effort you put in is the effort I'm gonna put in, you know what I mean? So yeah, but the prices are up, guys. Prices go as low as 150, guys. Who still does tests for 150?
Ain't nobody does.
Yeah, you
what
and
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the whole part of it. Because of me, the little things are growing, bro. I believe in seeds. Plant a seed, that thing will grow. Rather
Yeah.
than starting big, because the fall is not great.
Yeah.
So it is said that people with tats
Yeah,
are people who show that they are people who can stick to their decisions.
yeah,
As compared to people who don't have tats,
Yeah.
who, or like me, keep procrastinating getting
yeah,
a tat.
yeah.
Because I mean, you make a permanent mark on you
Yeah.
that you need to live with for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Well, unless you decide to undertake
Yeah.
that excruciating process of removing it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, how do you feel about that?
I respect people who don't have tats actually, because that's where the addiction starts. Because now, I remember I didn't have any tats, right? As soon as I got my first tat,
You wanted another one.
I wanted another one because of the fact like I'm finished bathing now and I only see this piece. I'm like, damn, this piece is so nice. Now I'm seeing the whole arm, you know what I mean? And you try to go more and more and more. And there's people that I've met who have tats and regret having tats because of the reason of they just did it for the sake of it, or it was a phase of like, now you got your homeboys, you're like, oh boys, we're all gonna get squad tats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But your boy does you dirty, what happens? Now you got that tat for life. You didn't really want the tat, you just did it for the squad.
No,
You
it's
know what
just
I
a
mean?
constant
It's those type
reminder.
of things, you know what I mean? So I respect people who don't have tat, but people who have tats is the reason why we're saying this. You gotta know why you have a tat in the first place.
Yeah.
And as an artist also, you take full repercussions of the sessions you're having with the client, you know what I mean? Never lie to a client saying, yo, give me a picture of your mom, so I'm a sticker right here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knowing that the guy didn't do any research of it, you know what I mean? So it's quite those things. You gotta go to a person you know who knows how to do their job properly.
Knows how to
You
do
know what I
their
mean?
job. So how have you been working on the tattoo
Yeah.
part of your life, tattoo artist part of your life?
Yeah.
During this pandemic phase, whereby you physical contact is basically prohibited.
Yeah.
And you need to be like right there on somebody else's skin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't Skype it.
You can't Skype
Yeah,
it.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part of it, because for me, as my starting up, right? Because my starting up, I started with pop-ups.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So whenever there was events, I would always pop up and I'd have a breathalyzer.
Sure.
So you know what I mean? So I'd have a breathalyzer for somebody to be like, yo, I'm trying to get a tat, what. Breathalyze you to see your alcohol level, because now alcohol is not a good thing when you're having tats. Your tats will not heal properly if you're under the influence of alcohol. You know what I mean? Because it's a skin thing, you know what I mean? So also regarding, sorry about that question, regarding on that, the pandemic phase actually was quite hard, right? But in a way it was a good thing, because for me it gave me time to like socialize with my clients like as usual, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I usually do indoor like sessions. So if you say you're from Kempton Park, you're wanting a session, I can come through to you and pull up for a session, you know what I mean? All you gotta do is just request a nigga. It's cool. So yeah, I do pull up, I do house calls, I do pop-ups. Now it's on a renovation space, about to build up a new shop. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting. And shout out to the boys for coming through, because yo, guys even caught me up here at Graft, but it's all good. Yeah, but the pandemic was great, because also the precautions that I had to take, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta make sure you got your gloves on, gotta make sure you have a mask on,
Yeah.
gotta make sure you clean your session tables, you
Yeah.
sanitize them, you shave your clients before you tattoo, because I hear some of you tattoo artists don't shave your clients. And yeah, just keeping it clean. Like tattoos are very hygienic, and the space you at is very hygienic. Gotta be. Because a little thing, now you're gonna come the next day saying, it's swelling up, what's happening, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the safety precautions is good. It's
So
good.
I hear you when you explain, you know, your work and how you do
Yeah.
and how you go about it.
Yeah.
You use a lot of equipment, like shaving, and
Yeah.
now there's the term. Now I'm thinking starting up. That must have cost you. How did you go about that? Did you get funding from someone, or did you like, get funding? Maybe or
No. Okay, here's a funny story. Yeah, here's a funny story. Okay, actually, yeah, going back to that part where I said from the lecturer telling me to jump in the tattoo shit.
Yeah.
So I get home, I tell my pops, I say, Pops, I'm trying to get into tattooing. Can you please hustle me a tattoo gun or tattoo equipment? So I'm going there online, I'm busy searching for equipment there.
Yeah.
I see, okay, cheapest is around about like 3 to 4 grand. I tell my pops, yo, this thing is out there. I'm gonna make racks out of this thing. And he's like, obviously, black parents, he's like, you're gonna get high on your own supply. You just want this for your selfish reasons. So I was like, it's cool. And I skated one time at a competition, I think. Yeah, it was a competition. Scored myself $500. Got home, told my brother. My brother added the rest of the cash. Got the machine the following day.
Ooh, whoa.
And the following day, that was the thing. I didn't sleep. I was on the box. There was like inks and stuff, and then there was this little rubber patch, and this rubber patch was actually like pigskin, so you could practice on it. So that's where I started going on this ink skin, going on it, and I see the results. It's like, okay, this thing's like piercing. I don't understand what's going. Until I understood when I started researching the information of what you should do, you know what I mean? Then I understood, okay, you're supposed to shave this thing so the skin becomes even. It doesn't go against the grails. Okay, you must clean it so that when you put sterile on, it massages the skin, you know what I mean? So it firms the skin and takes out all the dirt,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Which is a good thing. Also, your machines must also be sterilized, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just use it hot water or what. You just wipe it, put it on the side, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotta keep it clean because that's also where your ink runs, you know what I mean? Ink must be smooth and everything. So those precautions are before you even start even thinking about switching your machines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your whole setup gotta be clean. You gotta have your sterilizers, you gotta have your spirits, you gotta have your clean needles. Make sure you get your needles from a tattoo shop, not from any Chinese shop or what's, because they're gonna sell you guitar strings and then your tats are gonna come out like otherwise. So yeah, make sure you get the right plug. And the chemist, you gotta be friends with the pharmacy, because then the pharmacy will plug you with some gloves, they'll plug you with some masks, they'll plug you also with some creams and some performance cream so it can heal your skin nicely. So yeah, that's how I got my plug-in. But the surgical part is very serious. It's very serious.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we continue talking to Kev about what else, everything else that he's doing, and especially this whole journey that he's gone through as a tattoo artist, his challenges and the likes.
But
So-
you just make sure that you have to do the things, man. Comment, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell
Yes,
your friends,
sir.
Tell the other
tell
one.
what I'm about to say.
Tell everyone. Yeah.
Oh yeah.